right, cool. Now let's talk shit. Why are his shorts so short? He's got his shorts on. What's going on, internet? My name is the best troubleshooter, NA. Don't fucking at me. I'm here with Sandsology and JayDubbs.
Presented by the Steam Deck, because I just got mine, motherfuckers.
We are not sponsored by the Steam Deck. Steam, please do not sue us.
Valve's coming for our ass.
Valve is going to destroy us because of this dude.
It's the big screen TV of gaming handhelds.
That does not make sense.
It makes perfect sense because it's big, luxurious, and it does everything you need to. Not talking about me, but it is amazing.
Jesus Christ. So this is how this episode is going to go. Anyways, we're not here to talk about the Steam Deck. We're here to talk about fuck metagaming and how shitty it is. Pretty much.
So
you look like you want to say something.
Raise your hand. There you go.
So you saw me do a whole intro, and you're like, "Let me now take over the intro."
Well, you weren't doing it anyways.
Because Jules was talking about his fucking big screen handheld console, which again does not make sense.
Makes perfect sense.
You're a cuck, and you're a cuck, and I hate you too. But yes,
I'm not a cuck. I'm taking charge of this situation.
he's right. We are talking about metagaming, the cancer that ruins gaming for everyone. You're not taking charge of anything but that beer in your hand. Sip up and let a man talk. You're talking about metas and why we hate them. From anything from, I swear to God, if you niggas keep fucking interrupting, I'm going to fucking yell. I'm going to yell.
I'm picking war!
This time I was quiet.
This is the meta. You're right. I apologize. This is Jules' meta. To be an absolute fucking piece of toxic trash in this episode. This is the meta he's choosing for himself. And this is why metas are terrible everywhere. From Overwatch to fighting games to even Super Smash Brothers is a tier list. There's a meta. There's a GOATs for everything. And it's just so cancerous. It takes away any kind of individuality in gaming. So we're going to spend some time talking about some instances and examples of metas in games that we just wish would go away, would make the game more enjoyable. How can we improve upon gaming as a climate and as an ecosystem and not tier whore and not, oh, this guy's number one on that list I read, I'm going to main him. Be an individual. Pick someone else. I don't know, like Troubleshooter and DNF Duel. Instead of playing Ghostblade or Striker like everyone else does online, you can pick a cool character. Like
or you can pick Vanguard, who is also a cool character.
Who's an absolute piece of shit.
You admitted you liked him, bitch.
You don't have it on camera? You don't have it on camera? It doesn't exist.
You just admitted it by not saying that it was wrong.
Don't
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Ho, nigga. You don't got the receipts.
Thank you.
Ho.
Thank you.
No. You're no.
For those of you who have no idea what they're talking about DNF Duel.
I literally said DNF Duel, you piece of trash. So Patrick, what's a game where you would like the meta to get adjusted? What's a game where if you could take the meta away that you think would improve and thrive?
Oh, I'm going to be basic and say Call of Duty 100%. Or shooters in general. Multiplayer shooters in general, because it's always a thing. And whether it's, Call of Duty, Warzone, whether it's Apex Legends, even you don't see it so much in single player games. It's mainly multiplayer, but even in certain single player games, you see that.
No,
too.
I'm gonna take this stab. I'm definitely going to say Elden Ring or any kind of open world RPG build. Because come on, man.
RPG
honestly,
should not have metas. That's just a thing.
No game should have a meta. You should be playing
no
a
game
fucking
should have a
game.
meta.
Yeah.
The point of a developer making the game so you can explore it anyway and find different new combinations, but then you get this meta build in the RPG, then it's anything anybody else does, or you have so many people trying to make gaming content, and anything anybody else does will be oh, well, it's not this number one, whatever. So what does it matter? And it's just that's not really how it should. Not say it should be, but it could definitely be more healthy. I would say that.
So here's my thing. I get the stance behind metas. I get why they're a thing. They're to keep on doing the whole competitiveness and keep players interested and, you know, get players to come back and play the game with a different weapon to try out other weapons. I get it. But at the same time, especially with like single player games, it makes zero sense to have any weapon nerfed or bubbed or whatever to have one weapon that everybody's going to use in a single player game when the whole point is to play how you want to play.
But that's the climate now, and that's just like that's the expectation.
What's
the most broken thing I can find, and how can I abuse it?
Exactly.
That's just how people play games.
It's just too it's like I don't want to be a old school stickler here and say it's the internet's fault, but it's the internet's fault. Like we didn't have I think there have always been meta builds, there've always been touch of death combos, there's always been like some kind of brokenness in a lot of video games in the past, but the internet wasn't there to exploit it. I think the internet just made video games a lot more exploitative. So anything you can find, you can just kind of post it. And then of course it's we're in like a weird climate where like kids growing up today just want to find, and I'm not even I shouldn't even generalize all people that play games that are young, but like a lot of people like they just want to find the best, easiest thing to do, and then just go like the challenge and intrigue of video games has kind of been lost to them. Where it's just like that was the whole point of it in the first place, was to have something to escape to, but also challenge yourself and give yourself like a culture to belong to, you know, and not make it so toxic, you know. So I really hate meta builds. I really do. Like it's to the point where it's seeped into some of the most fantastic games, like Elden Ring. Why do you need the whole point of that game is to find your own thing. They said that multiple times.
So let's talk about one. Like the big one, I can't remember exactly what the name of the weapon was, but it was like a katana. I think it was Moonveil, right?
It was like the Blood Rain or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was like the big weapon everyone was using, and from Saw, it was like, well, we got to nerf it. And like you're saying, like that's such a weird thing to think you have to nerf something in a single player game, right? Yeah. Like you take a game like Breath of the Wild, where every weapon you find is just kind of like your weapon because you went on the hunt. You wanted that, right? Now, yeah, you can search the internet, but that's a single player game where the meta doesn't matter. People are trying to do fucking speed runs and shit of this fucking Elden Ring bullshit. So now they're just taking, what's the best weapon? Google. Where do I find it? Google. Doing that, and now you got 80 million players with the Moonveil or the Blood Rain or whatever fucking weapon it was, and the game's not fun to watch anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's boring. And I think it's very contradictory because you got people that's like, I want a challenge, but then they go online to find the easiest thing to do when they get that challenge to supersede that challenge. It's like, you can't have it both ways. You're either going to sit there, grit it out, and find your own way to get past this, or you're going to go for the easy experience. You can't just sit there and pick and choose. Like, I don't understand people.
I think the meta stuff is a lot more popular among the younger gaming community too, because they have time to track all this shit. They have time to stay on top of it. Like, as soon as the meta,
they get phones when they're like 7 years old.
Dude, you're our grumpy old man of the group. That's official now. But no,
which is wild because I'm the oldest nigga here.
I know. But no, like as soon as the metas really started hitting Warzone, that's really when I dropped off of Warzone, because I was like, everyone's using the exact same gun, everyone's using the same build, same attachments and everything, and I was like, what the hell is even the point of me trying to stay on top of this, trying to stay competitive with the game when the meta changes like every other week? It's like, Jesus.
I think the thing that really did me in, and I was talking about Overwatch obviously a few weeks ago, and that game has a terrible meta, but you can find a lot of like casual matches where no one's following it, so it doesn't bother me as much. But I think the game that did me in, or type of game, is all battle royales, and I think that's a real big culprit for it, because you gotta think like it's a battle royale, there can only be one winner. So how is everybody winning? Oh, it's this combination, this armor, this gun, this secondary or perk. And now you're just like, okay, cool. Number one, who wins and what do they have? Oh, look. Take Apex. Oh, they had the Mozambique and the fucking other gun that was big when it first came out. Of course they did. Exactly. That's why I lost. And then they had the gold set armor. And you just watch the same people win. They might be different characters and different skins, but it's the same stylistic type of play. Like we were talking about a few weeks ago with the noob tube when you first start playing MW, right? That was the meta, because that's how you won. You fucking noob tube your way to fucking victory.
Yeah. I think what it is also is that people these days are afraid to lose. Losing is a part of life. You can't spell life without L. Taking a L is a part of life. That's quote Lil Wayne, greatest rapper alive, and it's kind of at that point where it's just like, I don't want to lose. I was like, how do you think people got good? Michael Jackson had to lose something in order to be as great as he is. Michael Jordan had to lose a game in order to get to be where he is. Everybody's got to take losses in life. Like, you can't get to being great without learning, and you learn the most from losing because you learn what not to do.
But that's the thing, you don't anymore. You don't. That's literally what these listed things do.
People just get mad and they start blaming everything else for their loss.
Not even that, dude. Not even that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the meta's literally make it so you don't have to learn shit.
Yeah.
You can literally just pick up whatever the person that just beat you is doing, play it probably like once or twice, get the basic concepts, and probably be okay.
Yeah.
There's no more, there's no more training with something to be the best, whatever. With
Ash Ketchum?
I'm not getting copyrighted. You fucking tried me, but no.
God.
There's just you know how to win day one for most games now.
Yeah.
And that's not fun for me, right?
It's not.
I'm not trying to. When I say down with metas, it's not an actual like. I think people who play metas are fucking pace eaters or fucking bad at video games. I just don't like it for myself, right?
I think I'm gonna use that insult online. Like, you fucking pace eater.
You should. You can't get banned for it. It's really smart. But like, let's take DNF for example. Again, I was playing DNF rank. I'm just fucking playing as the best troubleshooter. NA, no big fucking deal. But like, I was playing, and then the striker, and like, I've seen the clips, I've seen the streams. They just did it all to me, and I'm like, oh, this isn't fun. Now, were they good? Yes. Did I take my L and move on? Absolutely. He won the whole set, whatever. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, imagine if that guy took that character, right? And instead of watching a YouTube clip or watching a streamer or practicing just something he saw on the internet, that he just took that character and learned it himself.
Yeah.
Imagine how much cooler that character could be for him to pull off some striker shit I've never seen before. When I play troubleshooter, I just don't do the bread and butters. I try new shit because I want to be innovative.
Yeah,
I want to test my capabilities, my reaction time, my knowledge of the combos and the gameplay to see how far I can get a combo to extend.
Right.
That guy watched a fucking YouTube video. Right? Like, that's the difference to me. I feel like take away the innovation in gaming. And
they do.
That's why. And Duels, I think you'll agree with me with this. This is what gets to rinse repeat kind of gaming, man. There's no innovation because no one's doing anything fucking different. Everyone's playing the same skins. Everyone's playing the same weapon loadouts. Everyone's playing the same combos. So why the fuck should I make a different game?
I mean, and I think that's one of the reasons why I respect just in the on topic on fighters in general. I like non-anime fighters a little bit more because they usually have a bigger variety of moves to choose from. Like Tekken, each character has 100 moves. Yeah, you can make a meta, but then somebody could come out with the same character as you, fight completely different, win the match.
Mortal Kombat's the same way too.
Mortal Kombat the same way. Like, in certain fighting games, metas don't matter, and I love games like that where like you can still experiment and find something that's just as good or even better, as a meta. Anime plot 101. Hey, I'm the biggest and baddest. You know what? I'm going to train in this mystical world over here. You don't know anything about it. I'm going to come back in 10 days, whip your ass with something you don't know about. Those are my favorite games.
2 words in anime.
Blood armor.
Strongest 2 words in anime.
Oh God.
And so like it kind of and it sucks because it's never going away. Like there's always going to be a crowd of people that's going to genuinely play something, whether it's a fighter, whether it's a racer, whether it's a shooter. You're going to generally play, but then you're always going to have those people that are either going to use cheats, hacks, or just what they saw on the internet to try and get the dub. And it's just like, I think people have gotten so competitive, they forgot the purpose of losing. They forgot the value in losing or finding somebody that knows more or knows better than you. They feel like they're inferior somehow, and it's just like, that's not always the worst thing to feel. It drives you to become better. You don't, if you're the best at everything all the time, how is that interesting to you? That's what I don't get. You know, you want to sit there and spam unblockables all day, and it's just like, well, what value, what challenge does that bring to your life? I thought you wanted to play this game because you wanted to have fun, but also challenge and intrigue. You know, so it boggles my mind sometimes. I still don't believe it at the time.
So like one of the examples I have of like a game that doesn't really do a whole lot of metas, but they do the whole like RPG style thing where like there's like one weapon in the game that's like, you know, the god weapon, but that's like, you know, most RPGs do that, single player games. But like for Horizon Forbidden West, like you can have the most powerful weapon in the game, like you unlock it late game, it's really, really good, whatever. Half the time, like the game is built so you can use whatever weapons you want and still beat the game. Like you don't have to use that god weapon to do everything, you know? To still make it fun. Like the god weapon, yeah, sure, it makes you feel like a badass, but it kind of takes the, you know, challenge out of the game at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know?
Now here's the thing. I don't mind meta builds on like new game plus single player games. Or like if you're playing a game and it's just like, it's kind of the way. If you're playing the game, you're just like, yo, this game was ass. But you know what? I'm gonna go back in with all my powers, everything I learned, and I'm gonna wreck this game twice or half over. And this new game plus, I'm okay with it. That's fine. You know, metas in certain aspects of certain scenarios, that's fine. Because whenever we play Doom Eternal, I'm keeping all my shit on. I'm keeping all my upgrades, all that other shit. You know, and I'm going on Ultra Nightmare, and I'm gonna wreck shit and be like, yeah, I just raped your ass, bitch. What you gonna do about it? What's up? You know, so that's cool. You know, but yeah, when it comes to like other people, and it's like I think it's easier to be so savage because you're not looking that person in the eye. You're not seeing that person just like with that disappointment look on his face, about to cry, and you're not feeling bad or whatever. You just see an NPC, you're like, yeah, bitch. Another person probably just came home, get yelled at his boss, maybe got fired, maybe got his girlfriend broken up with him, maybe his girlfriend cheated on him, whatever. And he just want to come home and play a fun game. He just want to come home, relax, play a fun game, and you gonna be on this ignorant bullshit. Mm-hmm.
Full-time worker gamers.
Yeah, like
polar breed. But no, so like that's like kind of another thing when it comes to like FPS multiplayer games and shit that like really turned me off was like how the meta, like especially Warzone, I don't know how much it changes in like Apex and Halo and shit like that, but especially Warzone, the meta changes like every other week or every other like couple weeks or so. But like I'm a very specific player when it comes to Warzone, and I don't use every single gun. I stick to like the guns that I know I'm good at. I can use and I'm actually, you know, capable using. So like when the meta changes and it's just this random gun that I've never used before is a whole other class, like a submachine or some shit, I'm just like, well, it looks like I'm going to be fucked for the next 2 weeks. Another thing with meta builds, especially in first-person shooter games, is that as soon as they make a new weapon, the meta, half of the time, at least half the time, it like is a...
in the background. Anyway, what was you saying?
Half the time that they make a new meta weapon in an FPS game, I would say at least 75% of the time, it's a weapon locked behind a paywall. Which means if you want that weapon, you're going to have to shell out some bucks to buy that weapon.
And now the game's pay to win.
Exactly.
It started back. This shit started back with PS3, and I fucking hate it because like you started getting DLC and you started getting all these, you know, extra, you know, skins, weapons, and everything. It's just like it's gotten more expensive lately, you know. And now you have this push for NFT weapons, and now you get this push for NFT consoles, and you got this push for, you know, microtransactions, and you know, you got Far Cry who. What is it, like $10 for an extra weapon, right? For DLC, Far Cry, you know, $5-10.
I don't play those bad games.
I did not play Far Cry 6. I heard it was okay, but I kind of fell off Far Cry.
I stand by what I said.
Well, I mean, it does stand the question when like Diablo Immortal just came out, you know, and that game has been riddled.
Oh my god, yeah,
so much pay to win shit. Like and the thing is, I feel like they're gearing. They want to target. We're not the target audience anymore.
Oh god,
we're the old niggas of the club now.
We're not jumping mad money on this shit anymore. It's the younger kids with their parents' credit cards.
No, I mean, it's not even that. You saw what They want the 16-year-olds with the jobs that don't have the bills to accumulate with the money that they have. So they're like, well,
they want the 10-year-olds with their mom and dad's credit cards buying like $100 worth of V-Bucks.
I'm gonna stop both of you right now. Jules, pull that thing back out that you were just holding before we came back from break. Yeah, exactly. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you fucking switch. I fucking hate it here. Fuck a duck. But you guys can't fucking say, yeah, we're not the fucking gen, we're not the fucking audience. Like, we still fucking are.
No, we are, but not as
There's always some. No, because it's bullshit. Because there might be something that comes out later in the line that you right now are saying, I will never spend money on a single fucking thing on any video game or any kind of cosmetic or weapon. But there might be one thing that you really just sit there and like, oh, I need it. Right? Next thing you know, you're that demo now. Yeah. It doesn't have to appeal to us every time.
No. Every once in a while, I will buy a microtransaction. Once in a blue moon. But comparatively to these kids that grow up with microtransactions, you gotta think like gaming has now spanned through a whole other generation where kids that were born in 2005, 2006 are now 13, 14 playing video games.
Yeah, and this is their norm. And I understand that. And I fully reconsider and take that into consideration. But it doesn't change anything. The paywall can exist. Fucking the microtransactions can exist. We talked about this when we talked about gaming was too expensive. If you're gonna want to do it, you're gonna fucking pay for it. So I don't think we can make that argument that like all because a certain gun might be behind a paywall that makes it meta. Because it might be true, but it's not.
No,
stopping you.
It's not so much that the weapon, like the weapon behind a paywall, that makes it meta. It's like the devs will specifically make that weapon. They'll buff that new weapon that is exclusively locked behind a paywall to get people to buy that weapon. And then the week after, they'll nerf the fuck out of it, making it completely pointless.
Yeah, and games fucking have pre-order bonuses that they want you to do so you can put money down in the game. Oh, yeah. And then 6 months after the game comes out, it's just a free download. It's a fucking marketing ploy. That's all it is.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, there's a $150 pre-order right now for NBA 2K23. Yeah. Why? Why?
Because it's a deluxe edition and people will
for points that you're going to get in the game anyway. Yeah. You know, like,
do you really want me to talk about it?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
because 2K community is different. Because if I I play 2K. I love sports games. They've already gone through this road. Whatever. So like, I don't do that playground shit. I just do my simulation seasons. I play computer games. I don't go online for all that shit. But niggas literally make stream careers off of this. Yeah. And the grind to fucking get your player good enough, it's too long. So when that game comes out, do I want to grind for 3 months to get to my player's 99 overall? And now I'm good enough to be streaming? Or can I just drop the 150 on day one, max out my player, fuck the whole story mode, bitch. I'm going to the fucking playground and I'm going to stream. I'm going to play these other really good players so I can dick on them and make everything look good. That's all it is. So, like,
got a point.
Is it out of pocket? Absolutely. I wouldn't spend $150 on a video game. And I love 2K. Right. I don't think there's any game besides, like, if God of War Ragnarok was like, if you pre-order for $300, you get an axe. I would buy that because I want an axe. That just sounds like a cool thing to have.
You can get a meeting. You can get a meeting with the voice actor of Kratos.
Like, fuck yeah, dude.
I'd also do that. You made a joke, but I would also be down for that. Like, I don't even care at that point. But like,
those are the more practical bonuses, though. But like a lot of the stuff that is like, you know, the deluxe edition, legendary editions, all this shit, they come with mostly it's just cosmetic stuff most of the time. And these are like for like the single player games that don't have an online multiplayer at all. It's just like cosmetic stuff. You might get an extra weapon. You might get an extra
and you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But I mean, the fact that they're still out there, they're always going to be there. That's never going to change. Right. Because people are always going to be buying that shit because some people like the aesthetic shit.
Well, that's been a thing since like Maple Story and shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's just when you had to like hunt for like a cosmetic that, you know, your level 400 fucking Dragon Knight has a party hat because it's the rarest thing you can have on your head. Yeah. Like, it's just it's clout chasing. That's really all meta really is at this point. If we really just want to boil back down to the like main source of the topic today, it's clout. It's just I'm doing the same thing everyone else is doing, but I'm doing it the best. And you're usually not because everyone else can do it, right? Like, my whole name today is a joke. Obviously, I'm not the best troubleshooter in North America right now. Maximilian didn't fucking see me, but like
Fuck Maximilian, dude.
What a mean thing to say. What a mean thing to say to the friend, to the guy I just called out trying to get some fucking hug. And you're like, nah, fuck that guy.
I'm gonna call out Sandsology because we could have been the Tank Top Boys today, and he was fucking around.
I didn't know
We
y'all
could have been
knew.
the Tank Top Boys.
I
Go get a tank top. Me and Jules will carry the show.
Yo,
So-
go get a Tank Top real quick.
Yeah. All right, cool. Now let's talk shit. Why are his shorts so short? He's got one shorts on. He got the hoochie daddies on.
What is on in my shorts?
It was just like when you stood up, the shits were just so high. And I just was like, wait a fucking minute.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I was gonna
fucking
say
nuts.
They're 7-inch inseams. Like fuck.
Pause. No, because when you were walking back, I could tell you fixed your shit. Because it wasn't the same length when you stood up.
Oh no, because
when you
they get stuck when I'm saying.
When you edit, you will see exactly when I react and why I react. Bro, you walking out of frame with some Daisy Dukes with all the cake in the world. The fuck you mean? You got a whole fucking bakery in your pants with all them fucking buns in there, bro. The fuck are you talking about, bro?
I'm sorry, I have a good ass. Like, god damn.
I have nothing to apologize for, my guy. No, listen, we get them views. Make the thumbnail your cheeks. Make the thumbnail your cheeks. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yo, that's actually not that bad. Man.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I
I laughed my way out of this. I'm doing the outro. Fuck this. This is gonna be a 20-minute episode. Nigga, listen, we weren't focused today.
This is gonna be a 30.
Well, guys, what do you think? What are some metas you really just fucking detest? What would you like to just take away from gaming? And, let us know in the comments below. Please follow us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, MyFreeCams, OnlyFans. Please make sure that... Oh, Jules, go ahead.
So I also want to say me and KJ are starting a fighting game scheduling. So like pretty much every week we're going to be playing some DNF Duel, just doing matches and everything. And we'll probably be uploading either maybe Fridays or Saturdays.
Probably Saturdays.
So come in. Yeah, Saturdays. So come in, check us out. See if you like how we talk shit to each other, and let's see if we can. Let's see if we can press my pussy. Let's do that.
Why would you say that again? What made you fucking do that?
What the fuck?
You're such a piece. Anyway, please make sure
There's
you
some
follow.
context that we're all missing.
Oh, there's a lot of context you're missing.
There's so much context.
He decided to play as a lot of girls.
We did randoms. You fucking piece of shit. We were doing randoms, and I got this like big hulking dude, and he got this like little tiny pipsqueak female, and he's like, "Oh yeah, come grab me, daddy," and shit like that. I'm like, "What? I just wanted to play a fighting game with my friend."
Oh boy!
And now I have to go to a fucking HR seminar. Like that's all I wanted to do. Holy shit!
Hey, he wanted to press my pussy. I said, "Come get it, bro."
On that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I have been the best troubleshooter, NA. Don't at me. That has been Sandsology, and that has been an absolute menace to society, aka JayDubbs. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys next time, and as always, stay excellent.
Jesus Christ.
We are still not sponsored by Valve or Steam.